All right, another frugal meal you can eat for a few dollars a day. So this is frozen ground turkey. I have about half a pound, maybe a little bit less. And I'm just grating some carrots for some extra vegetables. And over here, I typically use elbow macaroni versus whatever kind of pasta, just because it's so versatile. But this is my spaghetti, I guess you can call it. So I make spaghetti that way. And I started doing that here recently. Instead of the spaghetti pasta, I've just been buying the elbow macaroni. And I can use that for just about every dish that I typically make. But this is what I'm doing, spaghetti. I'm gonna chop a little bit of onion, but you can grate 1, 2, 3, however many carrots you want. If you want to start doing this, you can probably start with 1 carrot and kind of saute that, have it really, really soft, so it kind of blends in with your spaghetti sauce. So that's an idea for you guys to add more vegetables. I always like using carrots in there because it just makes it that much sweeter. Plus, it's extra vegetables. So I put a little bit of that onion there, but you can add a whole bag of frozen vegetables too in here if you don't mind it being chunky. Now you can be even more frugal and make your own spaghetti sauce, your own red sauce, and that would be awesome too. So a tip you can do to reduce putting so much meat in your food, just kind of taper it down, because some people feel like they need a lot of meat in their food. And unless you're doing something like keto, you really don't need a lot. Or as often, where they say just enough like for the palm of your hand, and I think that's for the whole day. That's not even per meal. But, you know, do your own research, of course. And yeah, so a tip that I could give you is, instead of using a whole pound of whatever ground meat that you're using for your dish, start cutting it into half. Only use half, and then only use a quarter. Or if you're liking the amount of half for, you know, a bigger family, Cora and I is just two of us, so a quarter of a pound is just fine for us. And sometimes we'll even do like 1/8 of a pound of meat. Spaghetti. No, I'm not. So for Cora and I, we're okay with using less meat. And so whenever you fry up some meat, you can always put a tablespoon every time you cook. Put a tablespoon and put it in the freezer. Get a container, even a small container, like one of these, or even a Ziploc bag. And every time you cook, you got some ground meat or something, just take a tablespoon, put it in your little baggie or your little container, and keep it in the freezer. And pretty soon it's gonna add up. Then you have a whole nother pound or half a pound, a cup, 2 cups of whatever it may be. And then you can use that for another dish, because you're not really gonna be missing a tablespoon. Like, nobody's gonna be able to tell in their dish, in their casserole or spaghetti or whatever you're doing. So that's a good tip for you guys. Just little by little, things add up. So you guys can make a whole nother meal with just, you know, 1 little tablespoon at a time. I would even go as far as to adding some peas in here, or some bell peppers or something. But Cora's not really into those. And you can do that, put it actually inside your spaghetti versus having like a side salad or something for your vegetables. And it's more of a 1-pot meal. That's how I like to do it, versus having 2 or 3 different dishes that I gotta do. It's just easier for me, and I like it. It works. Whatever is delicious but easy, frugal. And then season it however you want. I put garlic powder, salt, pepper. Sometimes I do chicken bouillon. Just depends what you like, guys. Get creative, and if you want to keep it simple, keep it simple. There are no right or wrong ways of doing it. It's whatever your preference is, whatever you like, Do you, boo. All right, here's the jarred pasta sauce. And I cooked this down till the carrots and the onions are super soft now. So I'm just gonna add a whole jar. I'm not sure if it's gonna be too much for the pasta that I cooked today, but I'm just gonna separate them so you can get as much pasta as you want and as much as this spaghetti sauce. Just give it a good mix. So if you guys have been following me for a bit, you know that I cook a lot of spaghetti because it doesn't cost very much. It's affordable, it's simple, and we think it's delicious. You add a little bit of Parm cheese on top of your spaghetti and you are in heaven, baby. That is that. Can't even see the carrots, you guys. The onions, if you chop them a little bit smaller, which I did them a little bit bigger. I mean, you can also mince them, I think it's called. You can't even tell there's veggies in here if you make them small enough. So your picky eaters probably won't complain. And if they're extremely picky, then you can always boil your veggies and then put it in a blender, make it just like puree. Then they definitely cannot be picky because they won't even know it's there. Just don't mention it. It just tastes delicious and they'll love your spaghetti. And no one's spaghetti will compare to yours and they won't even know why. These puppies are running around playing and playing and playing. That's why you'll hear that in the background. But it's time to season it up again. I had seasoned up the ground meat, but I think we need a little bit more now that we have the red sauce. So this is garlic powder, as much or as little as you want. A little bit of pepper. I don't go too crazy because it just doesn't sit well with me. It like makes me cough a little bit. Chokes me up just a little bit. And then my favorite thing to use almost for everything, some chicken bouillon. Give it a good mix and stir, 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 stir. And I'll taste it and see if it needs anything. But other than that, it is done. It is done. Pour that over my noodles. Top it with some parm and I'm good. I'm good. Happy frugal eating, guys. I got enough for my bowl. Enough macaroni. Give myself a good scoop here. That is that. I'm gonna get some cheese. And if Cora really likes it, next time I'm gonna grate 2 or 3 carrots. And I'll just give this a good mix and enjoy. Little Olive is ready to eat with me. Look at her. She's so cute. Guys, it's a whole nother day. I cooked something else for dinner, but I am doing some meal prep. So what I'm doing, I grated 3 carrots this time and I put a bunch of onion. So I'm cooking that till it gets soft and really cooked through. I'm gonna mix it with spaghetti sauce. But I have half, a little bit less of the ground beef. And then I'm gonna mix it with this right here, this pasta sauce, to just have it ready for whenever we feel like having spaghetti again. And also, I froze this elbow pasta that we had left from a previous time I made spaghetti. So I'm just gonna put this in the fridge, and this is enough for like one portion. And I'm gonna save some of that sauce that I'm making, plop it in here, and this is like frozen hard, you guys. So you can see the ice chunks. But I'm gonna plop a scoop in here of the red sauce, and then have this for lunch tomorrow. I just put the ground beef in there, and it's not a lot, but and the carrots are soft enough now. I'm just heating the meat through, and then I'm gonna put in the red sauce. Don't forget dessert. All right, y'all. I've already seasoned it up, as you can see there. And then I'm just gonna pour a whole jar in there. Mix a little bit of water just to get all that yummy goodness from in there. Sometimes I like using a tripod, sometimes I do not. When I'm cooking, I prefer to zoom in and out with my hand, and it just looks like the food looks so much better versus just like being over here just looking at it. Like you can't even enjoy the food being from here. So that's why I like to like zoom in, you guys. I like to zoom in for you. Ooh, that looks good. Just gonna heat this through, and we are done. Just waiting on the dessert, because we had that right there. That was our dinner. But just meal prepping now, and then this will serve us for a couple days. And either you can pour it over rice, over pasta, over a potato, because I do baked potatoes too, so I'll just grab a scoop and pour it over the baked potato and enjoy it that way too. All right, see if it's warm through.
It's warm.
Yeah, I just put it in there, so. What do you think about it? I have like 3 carrots in there.
It's been tasting really good. Did you put the chili powder?
No.
That's why it's good.
You don't like it with the chili powder?
I don't really like chili seasoning, kind of like nacho cheese. It's that funk. But this is good, especially with the carrots and the saltiness. It's like,
All right.
And the onion.
Yeah, and the onion, plus garlic powder and ground pepper, a little bit of chicken bouillon. What else did I put? I don't know. I'm just gonna top some red sauce on here, some spaghetti sauce. I would put this container, like plop it right on here, but this is hot because I'm baking that one of them muffin mixes. So all I'm gonna do is just grab a scoop, and hopefully I don't drop it. Oh boy, here we go. 1, 2, 3. Without dropping it. Ooh, I got lucky. Maybe just a little bit more. All right. Let that cool off just a little bit, and then plop it in the fridge for my lunch tomorrow. I need to check on the dessert. Ooh, it's getting there. All right, let's see. Flip this around. All right, y'all, let's see. It is done, baby. Oh yeah. I already poked it through. Nothing came out. I just let it sit there for a few minutes. Look at that. Oh man, that's gonna be good. Can't wait any longer. Gotta try it. This with some coffee. Yes, please.
It's done.
Ooh, it is done, Cora. You want some? Take a bite. Take a bite. It's okay. Go for it.
Oh, girl, I thought you turned around me real quick.
Real quick. You want to try? Here, take a bite. It's a little hot.
Pause this real quick.
All right, y'all. Have a good one.